like a lot.
They go bonker!
Totally. It's an adventure. And while you have to keep an eye on them, you gotta let them explore and figure things out for themselves. So hurry up. They're not gonna stay this way forever.
Kick off your California vacation at visitcalifornia.com.
Could you guys go another 20 more seasons?
Please, God. Please, God.
Only we are with the American Idol judges dropping campfire confessions.
Sometimes I feel overwhelmed by...
Happening now.
ACS officers respond to a West Side home and find more than 60 cats and some dogs living in horrible conditions. More details on this investigation coming right up.
They want to represent you in Congress. So what are the candidates for Texas's 28th congressional district doing to get your vote? That's coming up.
Get ready for a drastic temperature drop behind a cold front that hits tonight. I'll have all the specifics and even talk about where we could have a bit of a wintry mix. The News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, collecting way too many cats. Deplorable living conditions discovered on the city's west side. Animal Care Services seizing dozens of cats from a home on West Salinas this afternoon.
And while the cats were living in filth there, ACS says that as of now, they are not calling this animal cruelty, but that could change. RJ Marquez tells us what's next for these animals and for the homeowner.
We're standing in front of a home in the 3200 block of West Salinas out here on the west side, and you can see this home is covered with shrubs and bushes, but behind it, that's where animal care officers responded earlier today to this house. They found dozens of cats inside, and if you look even further past the house, you could see a shed where there were dozens more cats living in horrid and deplorable conditions, as that was described to us by ACS officers earlier today. So this home right here was on the radar of Animal Care Services for months. They inspected it in November and found signs of possible pet hoarding. ACS contacted the city's dangerous assessment response team and got the warrant to go inside the home. They discovered the cats inside and then found the shed in the back with even more of those animals and even 2 dogs on the property. Here's more of how officers described what conditions these animals were living in.
There's a very small path that you're actually able to walk inside the house, and yes, there's animal feces, urine all over the place, as well as objects that can fall off. So if an animal runs from one room to another, things can fall, and we don't want animals getting hurt by those things.
ACS officials say the homeowner is out of town, but he was notified of this seizure and he could be charged or cited after in investigations. As far as the cats, they will now go through a custody hearing process to determine where they go next. From the west side, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
We now know the name of a man fatally shot by a Boerne police officer yesterday. He is 41-year-old Brandon Cruz of Bexar County.
And now we know more about what led up to this death. According to Boerne police, several agencies received reports about a suicidal person fleeing the city of Fredericksburg en route to Boerne.
Cruz's family told officers they took a gun away from him before he left, but they weren't sure if he had other weapons. That's when one Boerne police officer, identified as Corporal Cheyenne Weber, and a Texas DPS trooper got involved.
They tried to pull Cruz over. He refused, and it wasn't until a short time later that they learned Cruz was parked behind the Carrington Place apartments in Boerne.
The trooper and Corporal Weber ordered Cruz out of his vehicle, but he did not comply. They say instead he backed up into the Boerne police vehicle, and that's when Corporal Weber shot Cruz several times, killing him.
Weber, an 11-year veteran with the Boerne Police Department. He is currently on administrative duty pending an investigation by the Texas Rangers.
We are also gathering new information about a shooting on West Mariposa near Blanco Road yesterday. Today, neighbors of Enrique Bocanegra, the 66-year-old man who was shot and killed while he was watching TV inside his own home, describing how they will remember him.
He was a nice guy. He always out there cleaning his yard or just helping out everyone. And he knows us, we're babies.
Bocanegra was hit by a stray bullet that came from 2 groups who got into a gunfight at a nearby gas station. 14-year-old Christopher James Mejia, who was in one of those groups, also died. 4 people face capital murder charges now, and among those 4 people are 21-year-old Oscar Martinez III, a 17-year-old who was also shot, and 2 other minors. Investigators still looking for 1 person.
A couple found dead inside a house yesterday morning, identified by San Antonio police and family members today. They are 50-year-old Gavino Daniel Rios and 41-year-old Joanne Sandoval. The two were found at a home on Enrique Avenue near West Commerce by the man's brother, who went to check on him after not hearing from him for several days. SAPD is calling this an apparent murder-suicide. They are investigating exactly who pulled the trigger.
San Antonio police also investigating an overnight stabbing. They say a 29-year-old man was stabbed near a bar on San Pedro and West Cypress around 1 a.m. He managed to run to a nearby 7-Eleven to get some help, told officers he did not know who stabbed him. It's also unclear what led up to the attack.
At 25 years in prison, that's the sentencing handed down today to a grandmother whose grandkids were found severely malnourished and neglected in 2020. Samantha Foster, arrested in May of 2020. At the time, she was the legal guardian of 3 of her grandkids. Foster's 11-year-old daughter reported her for abuse by texting 911. The affidavit for removal lists the abuse as physical abuse to living in a home filled with trash, feces, and urine. Foster sentenced to 25 years on 2 counts, 10 years probation on a third. As for the children, they are now healthy and doing well, according to the DA's office.
Let's take a look at traffic out there at this hour. This is the TransGuide camera here at I-37 and Hackberry. You can see there in the corner of the screen, traffic backing up. It looks like maybe getting off the highway, but really smooth sailing in both directions of the main lanes at I-37. But this picture is going to change, at least what it feels like outside.
I enjoyed today immensely.
83 degrees right now.
Yeah, high temperature of 85 today. So another day well into the 80s, even 90s south of San Antonio. Take a look at our almanac data. 60 early this morning. Then by the afternoon, we topped out at 85, well above the averages of 47 and 69. But some big changes are on the way, and they're right on our doorstep. They're just not here yet. For the most part, 80s to near 90 at the moment. In Floresville, 86, Eagle Pass at 90 degrees, 84 in Lavernia. Now, as we go through the evening hours, temperatures will be falling off, but gradually at first. Come about 11 p.m., that's when they'll really start to drop quickly because of the cold front. So we're going to get into more specifics of how cold it's going to get, how quickly, and where we could see some light wintry precipitation in a bit.
All right, thanks, Adam. It is go time now that the primary is a week away. The race for Texas' 28th congressional district, it's intensifying.
Yeah, if that's even possible, it's pretty intense to begin with. One of the candidates who almost beat Congressman Henry Cuellar 2 years ago, hoping this is finally her chance. Jessica Cisneros is moments away from rallying voters right here in San Antonio.
And our Stefania Jimenez is live at her campaign event on Montana Street on the east side. Stefania.
Well, yes, good afternoon. You know, this campaign event is going to start in about 30 minutes or so. We're expecting about 200 people to show up for this event here at the Charity Bar. Now, you already have some supporters already here holding up signs saying things like freedom is for everybody. And that's one of the main things that Jessica Cisneros is campaigning on. Reproductive rights, a $15 an hour minimum wage, also the Green New Deal. She's hoping that her support for these issues will help her finally clinch the Democratic nomination. Now, she has picked up a number of key endorsements thus far. We know that just a few weeks ago, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez campaigned for her, something that her opponent, Henry Cuellar, slammed the Cisneros campaign over, calling AOC a, quote, far-left celebrity. Now, Cuellar himself has been in office since 2005. He's known as one of the most conservative Democrats in Congress, but his campaign was dealt a major blow weeks ago when the FBI raided his home in Laredo. It's important to note the FBI has not yet revealed specifics on what pushed it to carry out that raid, but the Cisneros campaign is not letting that go. It's hoping that it's going to turn voters off from Cuellar. Now, we spoke with both candidates earlier today, and this is what they told us. Listen.
Not a good first impression that the incumbent was recently raided by the FBI. That's absolutely something that we're hearing about at the doors. And I think it really tracks with what we've been saying from the very beginning when I decided to launch the first time back in 2019. We are the strongest and the better Democratic nominee for this district.
There was no wrongdoing. And again, people are going to judge me by my record. I have produced for San Antonio. I've produced for Bexar County. I think the last announcement was $75 million for the for the West Side Creek, a new courthouse in San Antonio, hundreds of millions of dollars for on the American Recovery CARES Act.
Now, that was Congressman Cuellar speaking with us just this afternoon. And, 2 years ago, Cuellar only beat Cisneros by 4 points. And that's something that the Cisneros campaign is really capitalizing on. Also today, in just a bit, we're going to have Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, who's considered a rock star in the Democratic Party here, campaigning for Cisneros. Now, we do know that whoever wins this primary, the Democratic side is at least expected to either stay in office or be in office come next year. So this is a race that both sides are very much keeping a close eye on. But at 6 o'clock, we're going to give you a closer look at how this campaign event here is going. For now, we're live here on Montana Street. Stefania Jimenez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Stephanie. And of course, Republicans also eyeing what happens in that primary very closely. And we want to tell you about what's coming up tomorrow. We're going to have a primary preview on Breakdown with Steph and Steve. You're going to hear from local experts to get an in-depth look at some of the biggest races on the ballot. The live stream begins tomorrow at 7 p.m. You can watch it on KSAT.com or any of our KSAT streaming platforms.
And don't forget, early voting still going on through Friday. That means you have a few more days to cast your ballot early in the joint primary election.
Right now on KSAT.com, we have both of those ballots if you want to get an idea of who's up for election before you head to cast your vote. There's also information about polling locations and hours. Just head to KSAT.com/vote-2022. Use all lowercase in your search, and remember, Election Day right around the corner, 1 week from today, on March 1st. And checking in on local COVID-19 numbers now, Metro Health reporting 544 new cases, 3 new deaths. The 7-day moving average now at 385. There are 469 COVID patients in the hospital. 132 of them are in the ICU. 65 are on ventilators. Is it time to upgrade your device as well? If they run on 3G networks, that's probably a sign it's time. Several networks doing away with 3G service, and for one company, that change starts today. What do you need to know coming up?
And here's another question for you. Have you done your taxes? There's a new IRS verification program that some people are not happy about. It uses facial recognition to get you started. After some complaints, they've come up with another option. We'll explain after the break. Coming up today on the news at 6, not once, not twice, but 3 times at least. And the last time was the charm. We're talking about a builder who had loads of lumber stolen from his job site multiple times in less than a week. The final attempt led to 2 arrests. This happened in Frio County, where we're talking to the chief deputy about why these thefts are becoming more and more common. Plus, an outside audit of CPS Energy after the energy outages of a year ago during the winter storm and the recent rate increases for customers. CPS is putting out a request to have an outside agency review the utility. Garrett Berger tells us what that could look like as CPS moves forward with this plan. Those stories and more coming up in less than an hour on the news at 6.
The Internal Revenue Service responding to criticism over its new facial recognition program, which is used to verify a taxpayer's identity. Well, they're now creating another option.
Taxpayers now have the option to do a live virtual interview with agents instead of using biometric data. For those who opt to use the ID.me program to verify their identification, the IRS says the data is deleted once the account is created.
And new at 5, big technology changes that may render your phone and other devices obsolete. Today, AT&T shutting down its 3G or third generation network. It's been a couple of years in the works, and it's making way for faster and better 5G. 12 News Side's Marilyn Moritz on what it may mean for you.
It's goodbye 3G. AT&T is the first telecom to hang up on the old technology. So if AT&T is your provider and you have an older phone, say pre-iPhone 6, don't expect to make calls or send a text.
I think a lot of people are going to be caught off guard.
Daryl Greer works with the nonprofit Older Adults Technology Services, and he's concerned for safety.
We have a lot of older adults who are in the community who are using older phones.
Tech-savvy Pat Hasso has a new phone, but still,
I have an iPad, that I use just for playing and reading and nothing else. So it's not an up-to-date one.
Sure enough, she got this message. Sorry, it's 3G, so no service. It's not just old cell phones that will be affected. It's any device that relies on the 3G network, such as some home security systems. The alarm will still sound, but no one will be monitoring it. Then there are some medical alert systems.
Possibly, if somebody were to push that medical alert button, maybe they're not going to connect to the people who need to.
Same for older cars. Some systems, like those that call for help in a crash, won't connect. AT&T is the first to disconnect, but others will follow soon. Sprint will cut off its 3G in March, T-Mobile in July, and Verizon says by the end of the year. So if you have questions about whether your devices are affected by the 3G phase-out, contact the companies that provide your service. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Take a look outside right now. Sky 12 over the rodeo carnival still going on this week. You could be out there in shorts, T-shirts, and boots today.
I know. Can you believe it? How nice today was. By the way, extreme bull riding in 3 doors down playing tonight at the rodeo.
How much longer does the rodeo go?
Goes through this weekend.
Oh, it does. Jeez. All right. Longer than I remembered it being. It goes on quite a while. That's a good thing, though. Gives everybody more opportunities to get out there. All right. This time tomorrow, it's going to be 50 degrees cooler than what we have right now. Remaining cold the rest of the week with a little bit of light precipitation possible. And notice how I use the generic term just precipitation, because it's not necessarily just going to be liquid. So let's talk about what's happening. First with temperatures, then we'll get into the precipitation potential. 83 right now, very spring-like outside again today after a high temperature of 85. Check out Laredo, 96. Actually, last hour there, 97. Cotulla, 94. Carrizo Springs, 91. Del Rio, 93 degrees. We're feeling the warmth outside, but you don't have to travel very far to the north to get into the winter-like air that's headed our way. From 93 in Del Rio to 44 in Abilene. Cold front just hit Junction in Austin. Their temperatures gradually responding right now, down in the lower 70s. But there's that cold front draped across the state. It's marching southward, and we're going to feel its effects later tonight and especially first thing tomorrow morning. So let's talk about temperatures tomorrow morning, because it's going to be one of those upside-down days where it's warmer when you wake up opposed to in the afternoon. Typically, it's the other way around. Tomorrow morning, right near freezing in the Hill Country. Meanwhile, 42 in San Antonio, 46 Uvalde, Pleasanton about 44. That's at 7 a.m. By 4 p.m., when we typically be at the warmest part of our day, it's actually going to be cooler. We'll be down in the 20s in the Hill Country by tomorrow afternoon and pretty much mid-30s elsewhere, especially in and around San Antonio and surrounding communities, about 36 by 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So here's another way to look at it. Tonight, 10 o'clock, right near 60 degrees. After midnight, we're near 50. Wake up tomorrow, go to the bus stop, windy and cold with temperatures in the lower 40s. By the afternoon, it just gets colder, down near freezing by tomorrow afternoon and evening. And of course, not only is it going to get colder, but that colder air comes with a bit of a breeze. We'll have some wind gusts between 25 and 30 miles per hour. So periodically, it's going to feel like we're down in the 20s in terms of the wind chill. All right, let's talk about precipitation. Not much happening across Texas right now. And actually, we don't have a whole lot of moisture to tap into with this system. We'll have the low, shallow, cold air mass and then some more moist air running up and over it, the typical overrunning scenario. It's going to give us a lot of cloud cover and a stretch of gray days, but not a whole lot of moisture coming from those clouds. Our Futurecast, I think, handles this very nicely and paints a pretty accurate picture of what to expect. Notice 1 p.m. tomorrow. A few sprinkles for most of us, off and on sprinkles, not just tomorrow, but even into Thursday. However, as usual, the exception in the Hill Country at any point, I'm anticipating some off and on freezing sprinkles. So some elevated surfaces like street signs, maybe some tree limbs could have a very light glaze, but a low to no impact event because of the limited moisture associated with this. So very minor impacts are what we're anticipating through the Hill Country. The higher impacts are going to be especially up into Oklahoma and then stretching into Arkansas. So around here, 42 in the morning, 34 by the afternoon, a cold and gusty day. Highs near 40 Thursday and Friday. Really just more of the same weather, not as gusty, and briefly below freezing here in San Antonio for a couple of nights there. By Sunday, sunny and 60.
50 degrees colder tomorrow.
Just like that.
Just like that.
All right, so I get the feeling that maybe DeJounte Murray's inspiring some of his younger teammates to want to do what he did.
That is one way to look at it, because normally an All-Star break, you take a break because it's a very long season. Not Lonnie Walker IV. When we come back, we'll show you how DeJounte's teammate had his back at All-Star Weekend. And does that court ruling help or hurt Deshaun Watson's progress about trying to get out of all these lawsuits? Coming up. The 2022 All-Star break continues through tomorrow before resuming normal team activities on Thursday. That means for the Spurs getting ready to resume their rodeo road trip when they travel to Washington to face the Wizards on Friday. Right now, the Spurs are in 11th position in the Western Conference, 2 games back of the Portland Trail Blazers, who have the 10th position. That would give the Spurs a chance to make the playoffs with a play-in position. There are 23 games left in the regular season when the NBA resumes its season, and that is enough to give the Silver and Black a shot. DeJounte Murray spent 3 days in Cleveland after being named to his first ever All-Star game, but he wasn't the only member of the Silver and Black there. So was Lonnie Walker IV to show his support for his teammate.
He's a real one. He's been real to me from day one since we drafted him. And, a lot of guys will tell you they love you, they care for you, or they support you through, words. But, his is all through actions, whether it's coming to my house, anything, calling me, asking if he can come over, or we're on the road, he's asking, can he come to my room just to get advice and just talk about life. And this speaks for itself, man. That dude didn't have to come to, the All-Star weekend, even though that's my brother. But, we need all the rest and family time we could get, because when we get back, we got a playoff push. And I love him to death, and, I appreciate him.
You can tell they're pretty good friends, right? Well, they resume their activity on Friday at 6 o'clock in Washington.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Now that a judge in Houston has ruled that Deshaun Watson can be deposed by women who have not filed criminal complaints against the Texans quarterback, how does that affect the Texans' attempt to try and trade him? It means attorneys can finally begin the process of trying to conclude as many as 22 civil lawsuits that have been filed against Watson, accusing Watson of sexual assault during massages. However, this ruling doesn't help the Texans' trade efforts that can begin on March the 16th because a grand jury looking at possible criminal charges won't have their decision ready until April the 1st. It also doesn't help the fact that the Texans are asking for as many as 3 first-round draft picks as part of a package that could include as many as 5 to 7 combinations of either players or draft picks. Well, KSAT 12 and Texas Sports Production very busy today, bringing you high school basketball playoffs, both boys and girls. It's starting right now at 5:30 between St. Pius and Antonian boys. I'm told, though, that game may be starting a little late because the girls' playoff game is still underway, followed by Clark and Johnson, Village against Central Catholic, Lanier and McCullum, Veterans against Georgetown boys, and concludes tonight with both Wagner and Johnson boys and Clemens and Clark boys in their playoff at 8 p.m. That's all going to be available on the BGC app, live high school basketball playoffs.
Busy indeed. Thank you, Greg.
We'll be right back. We got some late breaking news right now. Sky 12 over the scene of a shooting in the 1800 block of South New Braunfels.
We'll have the latest coming up in 30 minutes.